We are live now, ma'am.
All right. Aditi, our moderator, could you please take the session ahead? Introduce
Yeah.
yourself, introduce the topic.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the seminar. My name is Aditi Maurya, and I'm a second year's master's in MADLB student at Jindal School of International Affairs. Today we will be discussing on the topic of shaping your future in consulting organizations and the life of a consultant, for which we have a notable alumnus from JSIA here with us today to share his insights in the project management industry. I would like to welcome Mr. Raghunandan, presently working as a senior project consultant at Wipro. He has previously worked as a researcher and web manager at Center for Land Warfare Studies, an autonomous organization under the Indian Army. He has a total of 6 years of experience in both think tank and corporate consultancy. He has won Chief of Army Staff Award for Best Practices in Institutional Building in 2018 and Best Client Communication Award in 2022. He is an alumnus of Jindal School of International Affairs Batch 2018. He has also done other certifications in project management from Indian School of Business in Microsoft Azure Cloud. Once again, I warmly welcome you, Mr. Raghunandan, and would request you to take this webinar forward.
Thanks, Aditi, for the introduction. Thanks, Prerna, for the invite, and thank you, Jindal. It has been a great pleasure to be back to alumni on a hot Sunday. I believe it's hot here, but I think it's a bit moderate up north there. But thank you for the invite, and let me quickly run through. I do have a small PPT, so the session would be running through the PPT, and I'll give a highlight and overview of what exactly is consultancy, the buzzword consultant, and how exactly you want to build up your career, because there are various consultancies, organizations with different types of consultancies involved and all. I'll be going into the overview of it, and then in the end we can have a small question and answer session. I hope that's fine, right? I'll be sharing my screen. Okay.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Can you enable my screen sharing option, IT person, Keshav?
You are able to share your screen.
Yeah, thanks. That's perfect. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Hi all again. So welcome to the session. As I said, it has been a really good pleasure and to come back and speak with the batch here. I'm sure most of you are from masters and mix of bachelors with also I saw some comment from PhD. Great to see the batch here. Thank you for joining on this Sunday. Just to give a starting on light, welcome to this kind of world of consultancy where everything is made up and none of the points doesn't matter. What only matters here is the data. The data matters a lot, be it numbering data or be it the factual data. When you're dealing with consultancy, what really talks is the data. Rest everything is what we call it as just goes away, like it doesn't have any value there. And like we all make fun of ourselves sometimes. We all do googling. Like someone tells that you just google copy pasted somebody what others told, but yes, but no, both are true here. That's how it is. But what really is consulting? Like if you want to do consultancy, like what, like let's go to the bottom of it, like understand the basics. What is consultant and what is consultancy? Like what exactly you'll be doing? The textbook example or the textbook definition of it is a consultant is a person who's an expert in a particular field who gives professional advice to individuals or the businesses in their area of expertise, usually on a temporary or a permanent basis, depending on the type of contract or they have or the need arises is to be. Okay, so what exactly does this mean is you will be involved in giving ideas slash solutions to solve complex problems or bring in new ideas to an organization where they can multiply their profits or maneuver the risk involved in certain way, right? You're like, we'll go into different type of consultancies in the next few slides here. But to just give an overview, it is basically an advice, right? Where you give. But the word I would like to highlight this word advice because here you don't you the advice to implement depends on the type of organization you're working. For example, if a person X, like for example, if you take Aditi here, like Aditi aspires to go into MEA tomorrow and do consultancy with MEA, she'll be giving only advice. She'll not be going to implement it because the implementation part will be done by the policy makers in taking the Indian context of it. We have the elected representatives who finally do the policy and implementation by the bureaucrats there. But what is her role as a consultant is only to give advice. So her role stops at advice. But if you take any other person here, I think Bishwajit, I think so. I saw somebody's name here. If you take one of those guys who want to get into corporate consultancy, if they get into corporate consultancy, what do they do there here is your role doesn't stop at advising. Your role also extends to implementing the said solutions slash processes slash business ideas slash risk mitigation processes, etc. For example, if you are roped in, I'll take my example only. Like last year, I was working with one of the healthcare industries as a freelancing consultant. Before I joined Wipro, I was a freelancing consultant, one of the healthcare industries. We were in a situation where the data center was located in Poland and Eastern Europe, and the whole the Ukraine-Russia war broke out. Okay, so the whole concept of giving consultancy is now like we need to migrate the data center into a different location, which is more secure, more physically secure, more data secure, where employee can reach up to the office on a daily basis to perform their daily functions, etc. My area did not just give out stop at giving advice. Okay, this area is well safe and this is good and financially feasible, accessible. That doesn't stop there, but I also implemented it by collaborating with various other departments or people on the ground, asking them if the ground knowledge is true or not. But if you take on the same hand, if a person is working with MEA, they will not be getting into they can, like a consultant will be giving an advice to the ministry, but rather not get into the implementation part. So depending on the organization setup you are working in, this makes a huge difference, like from advice to implement. So this is how it is. I hope there is, if you have any doubts, we can take it up in the end. Okay. So at the outset, consulting is basically giving your like a layman's language is where you give your expert advice on the expertise you have gained across your experience, your bookish knowledge, or your theoretical knowledge, your degree, your certifications, etc. So what exactly brings in where what does it require shaping your career in consulting organizations, right? Like consulting organizations, like you are doing MADLB, you are doing in bachelor's in different streams, you are doing a master's in different streams. But today the world doesn't just depend upon, okay, there was a time when, okay, the person did X category graduation and is going to go into the only that Y category of work. But today it is not like that. You do an X category, but you are interested in doing in Z category work, you are definitely allowed to do that, expand your knowledge, gain up the experience through professional experience, so certifications, grow up in the career. But what exactly is the consultancy organization? Before we get into that, we need to understand the different consultancy spaces we have in the environment. I'm not getting into the complete details, but a gist of it, like what are the main consultancy spaces where we as masters who are doing IR slash law slash policy, the social construct of it, like the social science medium of it, and getting into like even the PhD people, right? So what are the consultancy spaces which are available? We have strategy, we have political, we have compliance, we have security, we have political, we have sales and marketing, we have project product, we have operations, finance, HR, IT, technology, sustainability, social media. So what does this mean? Like these are big words, right? Strategy. What is a strategy? strategy can be anything, right? From a giving an idea to a, small project team in your class project, to giving out a strategy to maximize the profit to a business, to MNC at a larger scale. Or strategy also can be making up your national security policy slash foreign policy, etc., etc., etc. Right? So oh, what are the consultants like? What is that attract strategy? The strategy is where the consultant plays a solid role by giving the advice to the businesses slash government organizations slash international organizations, etc. I'll get into the I've made it into such a way that the organizations part I'll be discussing later. I'll not get into which are the organizations dealing with strategy, which are the organizations dealing with political. I'm not getting into that now, but I'll do it later. Just let me give a gist of all the consultancy spaces available in this slide. Political is like a newfound hub of consultants, like you have seen IPAC and etc. such organizations where people are roped in to give their advice, do research, give advice, give policy formulations for a certain political party based on the elections which are upcoming and ongoing, etc. And also some methodologies for the democratic process in the nation. So that is political consultancy, where we are most interested in to take up ahead. Compliance and security is the most interesting part, what I would rather say for an IR graduate to pursue upon, where they will be dealing with multiple physical slash digital slash technological security complications, and also consultations and also mitigation processes. Compliance, where you are involved in both liaising with the businesses, with the government, where you make policies of a certain organizations, corporate, which I'm particularly speaking about, based on the uh, policy of the law of the land. Like if I have to give an example, again, this year we were implementing in Wipro only. While I was working in Wipro, I was working with a client from Japan and one from LATAM. Both have a different set of data privacy policies, right? They have not, right? They do have a different set of data privacy laws. So while I was working with Japan, even if it is a cloud storage space where we are storing the data, it needs to be mandatorily, the data center has to be in the geographical location of Japan. They cannot cross over. Like for example, if you take India, we are still not up there, but we have that leverage of hosting our data in Europe slash US slash any other country beyond the geographical boundary. But in Japan, they are very specific about where you want to host the data. Like even if it is the data of an MNC, the particular data of the employee of Japan needs to be hosted in Japan. So if it is hosted somewhere else, this is going to be a compliance issue. And we are roped in to study the data policies, give an advice, how can we mitigate that? And if the data center has to set up, then comes the physical security aspect of it. How do we build a data center? Is a data center is required, or etc., etc., etc. That's where the compliance comes into play. Same thing with LATAM also. LATAM has a very specific data privacy laws and etc., where they uh, do have some leverage of hosting the data in Spanish and European nations, but not in US and North American regions. So compliance is a very important thing. The same with the Indian system also. If you are into finance, understanding the numbers, like GST is a very big thing, where the compliance is a very important part in the law of the land in India too. So that comes to compliance. And project and product is where I work in project slash product. Product is a where you are interested in developing a product. It can be a technological product, it can be a non-tech product, but you develop a product and you want to or consult on that product, basically sell that product, or give an advice on that product, which is helpful to organizations slash businesses, that can help their resource maximization or profit maximization. Project is where we do project management slash consultancy, is where we do end-to-end implementation, starting from project initiation to project closure, the complete setup, where we get into the details of each and every step. There are certifications for each of these. I'll come into the next slide of that before I go into details of it. So that's coming to project. And sales and marketing, people who are interested in having are very interested in talking and having pitching about this particular product slash organization slash any other resource, etc., they can get into sales and marketing consultancy. But people who are interested definitely can, but this is a lot of numbers and data, and a lot of work pressure also is more on sales and marketing. Just to be on the just to tell you there, operations, finance, HR are all hardcore technical roles. I would say, like finance, you need to be good in finance. For HR, you need to be good at resource management. For operations, more related to industrial operations. I don't see social, like I might be wrong here, but people who are from social sciences background will find it tough to have this space created in the operations consultancy space. But finance and HR definitely they can do. But given the fact that they do some they do have prior work experience slash certifications in the future. IT technology is where another interesting things comes up, where we can learn about new technologies. If you're interested in technology such as AI slash ML slash the new age words, the AI, ML, and other technologies, robotics, etc. If you are interested in it, learn about it. Don't stop learning. That's one of the key mantras you need to keep in mind. Learn about it, grow about it, research about it. Maybe you can do another study in the future, and that's also helpful. Technological consultants is a highly payable good job, and sustainable consultants is another where we graduates, postgraduates, and PhDs fall into place. Sustainable consultancy is related to environment, related to your way of living, your financial sustainability, your environmental sustainability, the way you function as a whole. It is not focused on one single particular functioning. It is a whole of like it is going to be a whole of approach is what you need to take there. And the social media consultancy is a new age buzzword again, but uh, good. But I would not rather suggest that more or less, because it involves um, overlap with other consultancies too. So just the social media consultancy is not a viable option, but it is one of the way forward also, like it is there in the space. So these are the consultancy spaces. You might have heard about these, you might not have heard about this, but focusing on the like selecting one of these spaces to enter the consultancy organizations is very much important to start your career in the consult. Like I'm hoping that I'm believing that many of them do want to get into consultancy organizations and spaces. So understanding the spaces is really important before you take step next. And now comes the skill. Like what you need to have. The next one is you need to have the skill. What skill is required to become a good consultant? There are multiple skills that is required, but the basic non-fancy words are these. Yeah, verbal and written communication. Verbal and written communication, you might be good in data, you might be good in analytical skill, you might be good in number of things, but if you do not communicate it, maybe written, maybe verbal, it's going to go for a waste. It's going to dustbin. There's no value for that unless until you communicate in crisp and short form to the person sitting opposite to you. It doesn't make sense. For example, if I'm telling you something today, and at the end of the day, if the intention of this seminar or webinar is not met, then it's a waste of a thing, right? The same thing in consultancy too. Your written and verbal communications plays a very important role. Then listening is a fundamental concept, fundamental skill which is required for a consultant. You need to listen to the client, you need to listen to the partner, you need to listen to the businesses, understand their problem and give the solution. You cannot jump upon the solution before they even start telling, right? You need to be patient. If you're working in government setup, you need to listen to the problem set by the ministry, you need to listen to the problem set by the people, then get into a analysis, then get into the solution, designing the solution. And always make sure that you put your customer first or client first. That is important, because you need to put yourself in their shoes and think, okay, is this what if I was in his or her shoes, would I have taken this solution, or would I have accepted this solution which they are giving to me? You need to think in their point of view, their budgetary point of view. You need to think in their feasibleness, right? You cannot just give a solution which is not feasible to them. Okay, and you need to be creative thinking. Creative thinking is not that something you can build upon. None of these skills are built upon your bookish knowledge. These are the things which you develop over the time by interactions, by reading, by etc etc etc. But creative thinking is another thing. Flexibility, you need to be flexible enough to have your ideas changed based on the scenario or based on the situation as said. I'll give you this, taking the same example which I had said 5 minutes back about the data center being moved from Poland to or Eastern Europe to other part of the European country. We had to be flexible enough to understand the requirement. We cannot be rigid, and we cannot be rigid. If you are rigid, your solutions also be narrowed down. Your solutions starts narrowing down. If you're flexible enough, it starts expanding. So you need to be very flexible, and you need to have the problem solving capabilities. Problem solving capabilities in the sense you need to not just, as I said in the first slide, you need to advise. The advice which should come along with what is the solution, what are the steps that can be taken to implement it, be it for government, be it for corporate. Your responsibilities is that you need to give out the solutions. In government, it is up to them if they want to implement or not implement. That is up to them. But in corporate, your buck stops at you. It is one of your key performance indicator. You are your performance is judged upon how well you solve a given problem, how well you give a solution that is feasible enough. Okay, and sub the more, and the top of it, the cherry on the top will be the leadership. Without having the capability of taking the ownership, okay, if something goes wrong in midway, if you do not have that capability of taking the responsibility on your shoulder, things will cripple down. You need to take that responsibility, be a leader, because consultants more or less work upon a solo track. You might be having managers, superior managers and level managers, etc. But at the end of the day, when you are dealing with the client, it will be you and the client. And when you are dealing with certain critical issues, the decision making skill, which is the basically leadership skill, should be an instantaneous. You cannot tell the client, okay, I'll go back. There are times when you need to go back to your management and discuss certain things and come back, but at that moment you need to give a solution. So that decision making capability need to be inculcated upon you. Okay, and then is about the research and report writing. This more or less, I think, during the master's, bachelor's slash higher studies, we all have started building upon this because of the various academic work which is involved. But this part a very important role. Your research, your report writing should be on crisp note. You cannot have a 20-page report placed on a client table and telling, okay, this is my solution. Nobody is going to read it. Nobody in the ministry is going to read it. Nobody in the corporate is going to read it. You need to have an executive summary. You need to have a crisp, short, single page, maximum 1.5 page of summary of what you would like. The bigger report is definitely required for the larger purpose, but while you're explaining the solution, you need to be very crisp in what you're telling. So research and report writing, especially the report writing, is really important. So I would really focus, you tell on, like, I would rather say that you all need to focus on the report writing part on a solid part. And you need to be self-motivated and you need to have soft skills. I don't have to much go into detail about this. As I already said, you are more or less, you are on the solo track while you're consulting with the clients. You need to be self-motivated. You cannot be demotivate yourself and tell, okay, I cannot do this today, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't think I do have the mood today to consult, let me do it tomorrow. That doesn't work. You need to be on the toes, be self-motivated, motivate your peers, motivate your team, take it along the team, move forward as a board, not as a single one. And you need to have soft skills, and soft skills is nothing that I can brief upon now, but I think you all need to focus on that too. So these are the important skills. I'm not telling only these are the skills, huh? Like these are some of the important skills that will be judged upon when you're giving interview. That will be fundamental, which will be playing a fundamental role in your career as a successful consultant. And then we get into the kind of certifications. We all doing masters, doing PhD is great, very good, solid. But once we get into the workspace, right, you also need to time and again be upon the industry standards. How do you prove that you're like, you might have done, I did my MBA and ELB in 2016 to 2018. The world back then was different set of problems, different set of technologies, different set of, it was 5-6 years back, right? World has grown upon. How do I keep myself upon the world? Like without forgetting my fundamentals, that is what I read during my masters, but I also need to showcase that, okay, I am up to the market standards as of today. How do you do that? That is all through the certifications. Some of the certifications here are like, I'm not telling only these are the certifications, these are some of the certifications. PMP is a project management certification. It is a very well-known certification. It is valid for lifetime. It do cost some dollars, if I can say that. But there are very good opportunities slash what do you call once you put in the effort, you get the good opportunities coming through a PMP. But PMP has the fundamental criteria that you need to be working in a project management space for at least 2 years before you take up this exam. So that is one of the criteria which it requires. So if people are interested in this, I can probably pass on some information at the end of the session here, or you can contact me at the later when I give my contact details there. I'll be rather helping you in this. Then there is a certified management accountant, that is CMA. If people are interested in numbers, people are interested in data, people are interested in playing with numbers, assisting the businesses slash organizations with their improving their profitability, etc. Certified management accountant is a very good course. They have a good pay package, worldwide recognized. It is also recognized for lifetime. But time and again, you need to go back. Like these are all like kind of, you can, if I can say, these are all like club membership. Like time and again, you need to renew it by paying a nominal fee or take up a renewal exam or something of that sort, but lifetime validity. Then there is a CSP, certified sales professional. Again, as I said, people who are interested in sales can take up this. I have no much idea of the CSP, so pardon me on that. Then there is a security-based certifications, primarily like associate protection professional, that is called APP, which is a well-known certification for especially the masters in MADLB slash IR people. They do this course to get into business continuity. They get into security consultancy organizations across. People are already working. My batchmates are working. My seniors are working, and some of your seniors also might be getting into it. Then there is CPP, that is a certified protection professional. People who are interested in physical security aspect of the companies, like people are, for example, if you're get an opportunity to work in, it's also one of the very highly valued and very challenging job. People are interested to work in oil and gas industry and or mining industry. The mining is somewhere deep down in Africa slash Chhattisgarh in India. And there is an Naxal attack slash some kind of extremist attack near the base, and you as a certified protection professional of the employees, you will be required to sketch out the complete exit plan or the rescue plan for the employees. So very interesting, very challenging, but great space to work in. People who are interested in that, they can definitely pursue on that matter. Then there is again physical security professional too. It is also correlated to this, but these are certifications that expire on a regular basis. I think the validity is for 2 or 3 years, if I'm not wrong, and you need to renew it by taking the exam again, and you need to reappear, you need to repay the fees, etc., etc., etc. So, and there are cybersecurity certifications. People who are interested in technology, people who are interested in cyber, particularly cyberspace, which is the buzzword again in the industry, they can definitely take upon cybersecurity. Then there is what did I leave upon? Certified management consultant. Again, management consultant is a broad topic. What exactly is management consultant is a separate talk altogether. But gist of it is you will be assisting sales, marketing, HR, technology, all included of it. You will be a part of a team. Like, if I can relate it to project management, you will be part of the PMO, the project management office. Just like that is the management office. You will be assisting the CEO of the COO or the CTO based on making their strategy. So people who are interested in having high level view of everything, not getting into subject specific of it, so certified management consultant is a very good space to work upon. Uh, so I'll do take up the doubts in the end. So please, then we have kind of options which we can enter post if you want to start your career. What I have displayed on the screen is only the corporate. Uh, the big consulting firms is BCG, Bain, and Deloitte, etc. If you're working you're looking for something in abroad, then Bain and Company, McKinsey. These are like top notch. Like even it's one of my dream jobs to have working in McKinsey and Company. These are big names, huh? Like these are the industries. How do you get into these? I'll probably take it up later. But what I have not mentioned here is uh, uh, what I have not mentioned here is the opportunities, the consultancy spaces available in the government. I did not mention it because I did for a part time, but unfortunately I could not mention it here. Anyways, I'm going to tell it out here. The opportunities as in government, if your people are looking into it, MEA has, like I'm talking on the Indian space, I'm not talking about the space outside India. MEA hires regular consultants. Every year they have a recruitment rally, sometime in the month of May, June / Jan, Feb. Their website hosts number of vacancies. Back in 2016, 2018, it was very limited amount of consultants they were hiring. Today, our foreign space policy has grown. There is a big blow to the foreign space. We have a large number of consultants available in MEA. They do have a number of think tanks roped into MEA. So people who are looking into that space can definitely look into MEA website time and again and apply to the. It is a very open book, very transparent mechanism of recruitment there. Very good opportunity to work with the Power Corridor. So that is one. You have also social media consultant with Lok Sabha. Okay, Lok Sabha has once in 2 or 3 years they do hire social media consultant for the speaker. The speaker office hires you with a good pay. Like I'm not. These are the good pay consultancies which I'm telling. And Ministry of Women and Child Welfare also has consultant people who are interested in women security, the child welfare, issues of the society, etc. Definitely can aspire to get into the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. Finance Ministry has regular consultants. It is almost as good as once in 6 months they do hire. But the catch here is uh, people need to have at least 5 years of experience working in a finance organizations with a good finance background, etc. Niti Aayog has young professionals / consultants / professionals time and again. People who are interested again can do apply to Niti Aayog. They do have a good pay package there too. Ministry of Health do have certain consultancy spaces, but the what happens in Ministry of Health is the options available is very less. Like it may be 1/2 at the max, because it will be related to, like, if you are a science graduate or if you are from the medical field, then the opportunities increase. What's the time? 1:40. Okay, and we have. Yeah, MHA has good consultants time and again. though it is not published well. I don't know much of the recruitment procedure, but I do have seen some recruitments taking place as a consultants for MHA. NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, do take in consultants for their work. NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, do take up their consultants. NDMA also gives some certifications, people who have interned / worked in NDMA, which will actually help you in disaster recovery, or people who are interested in disaster recovery / rescue operations to work in that space. The NDMA certification definitely helps. So these are the important organizations which I want to mention. But what I would like to highlight here is um, the government consultancy, which I mentioned over the last few minutes now, are not permanent jobs. Please do remember that these are contractual jobs which you are hired upon. Once you get into MEA / MHA / Niti Aayog / whatever ministry you get into, you are not a government employee. You are there for 1 year, 2 year, one or 2 year, but your employment can be extended upon to 5 years, but not beyond that, because it has a lot of employment laws, compliance issues there, so they can't extend it beyond it 5 years. But you can extend as a contractual basis forever. But stability is the question mark on stability comes into play. So what my advice, or if I can tell, because undergraduation people are also there, what I would like to say is, people who are interested in taking up UPSC exam, right? People who are interested in getting into the civil services, they can definitely explore this opportunity. The reason being here, you will be working very closely with the power corridor, and you will be understanding how the system works. So you know, if I really want to get into that, right? Second, you will not be having any gap year, because you are already working there, and you're also sustainable enough to work and study, because you will be off on Saturdays and Sundays on most of the weekends, except when there are seminars / workspaces held upon the weekends. But more or less, you will be free on the weekends, and it is a fixed time job. You're working from 9, you're ending up at 5:36, and you go back. You can't carry much of your work back home. You are free for the next half. You can study for your examinations, prepare well, and understand if I really want to get into that. So that is one thing which I would rather highlight here. But apart from this, it's a good space to understand. Even people who are getting into academia, right? Academia / research / PhD, going upon the level, they also can aspire to do that. Why? Because they will have the leverage to understand the real issues, understand the real problems. They can formulate the research space they're getting into, and they can build upon their career from there on. So this is the constraint of working with government organizations, because it's not a permanent thing, and a lot of benefits will not be available what other people get in. Like people who are working in corporate do get in some financial stability at a very young time, and people who are working with government consultancy do take some time before they reach up to this point. Okay, so that's where I come upon to next slide. What is the life as a consultant? uh, Life as a consultant. What is life as a consultant? Life as a consultant. Let me give a brief career path which I went in. Like already Aditi already mentioned, I started with my career soon after I graduated from Jindal. I did get an opportunity to work with Claus, an Indian Army think tank. I worked there for solid 3 years to 2 months. I was primarily joined in as a social media manager / researcher, but later on research part became more. I did visit Jammu Kashmir / Northeast / LWE areas for solid field research work. Did some good work there. Then did slight of change of mind. I wanted to get into come back to Bangalore for my personal reasons. Found an opportunity with Philips India business. I was roped in as a consultant, as a freelancing consultant, where I did I was working with as a travel policy, formulated the India travel policy for the employees there. Then we took over as change manager for one of the business transformation projects. Then later on did my certification from ISB. Then Wipro, got into Wipro as a full-time project consultant. Then recently got into senior project consultancy too. Did my certifications also from Azure Cloud Practitioner AZ 900 and School of Business as project management certification. I do plan to do PMP and other certifications as time moves ahead. So how is the life as consultant? Life as consultant, I would put it as exciting, challenging, and demanding. You're excited about each day, your new challenges come upon, you're demanded. You need to be on your toes. If you give upon good solutions, you are demanded. If you do not give good solutions, you're not demanded. So it is a demanding job. There are times when we do not have certain weekends as free as I am free to this week. We do have some work-life balance is good, paycheck is good. You can leverage that to build upon your aspirations, career, etc. Gives an opportunity to expand your network and grow upon as an individual, help people to grow, help organizations to grow, feels happy, feels satisfied as a person, that something that I told is being implemented and I can see that happening. So that was one of the exciting. Like if I have to link it to what I did my research in my class, I did some research pertaining to Jammu Kashmir. We had given certain recommendation while we were there when the abrogation of Article 370 happened. We were solid 2.5 months. I was staying in Kashmir there. Did some solid research, met people, they gave some very good solid feedback. We gave it to the power in the power center in Delhi. Something got like not everything got implemented, something got implemented. I was very happy that day. Oh, something which we told is implemented there. So maybe it's not because I told it or somebody from my teammate told it. It was there from long enough, but we feel that okay, the day we told it, it got implemented. Sometimes good. So the satisfaction is good as a consultant, even in the corporate when we tell something and the management listens and it is recognized. It really helps, right? So that as a life as a consultant, I would like to brief upon that because each experience differs from person to person. You might have a different experience, I might have a different experience, but that's where I would like to stop. What people what people think in the management consulting I do is talk. What my mom thinks I do is have a group of meeting day and night, wearing clothes and having a cup of coffee on all time. What my friends think is I always make money. What my friends think is this person is always traveling. Yes, there is a travel requirement based on the client's location. When we post it on Instagram/social media, people think, oh, this guy is always traveling. What I then what I think I do is I always talk, showing some data analytics, but what I really do is I keep on working on my laptop. That's the reality. I would like to end it here. I would be happy to take up some questions for the next. I think we have 12 minutes left upon.
Students, if you have any questions, please come ahead and ask your queries. I think this is the right time. Mr. Raghunandan is with us. He can, solve and he can share his expertise with us.
Ritik, you can just say your question out loud, ask him. It's all okay. So there's a question in the chat box. If you could just open it and take a look.
I'm having already looking at it. Hi, Ritik, if I pronounce your name. Hi. So nice meeting you, Ritik. So you did your intern with MHA, right? Okay, that's good. So if you want to get into government consultancy, economics/government consultancy, recently there was vacancy in MEA in the economic welfare department, economic diplomacy part. It was displayed in the website. So this is one like fundamental thing. MEA is one of the fundamental thing where you can get in because you do get 3 years time in MEA, like where you can build upon your career, you can build upon your contacts. Post MEA, you would like to extend it, do extend it. If you do not like to extend it, search upon think tanks, ORF, or maybe CC. There are a couple of other think tanks which do work in this space, but also organizations which work on this space in abroad. If you have plans to do PhD, etc., this will definitely help you. But as a first step, if you are already interested in economic and government consulting, then do get into MEA, man. MEA offers you really good pay and also which sustains you in Delhi and also has a good career path for you. That is what I would rather say for this. But nice that you are working upon this. That was one of my interests also. Nice. But if you do not like, speaking of reality, I'm not telling you will not get into it. Don't take me wrong. But if you do not get into MEA in the first, like in the initial go, then what next, right? That is the question. What then? Then you might explore the think tank areas, start working in that spaces, publish some papers, get. So in research space, there is a saying called publish or perish. Okay, the more you write, the more you recognize, right? The more you recognize, the more people know, okay, this person is working on this. People call you, people think about you, people want you to be heard. Okay, so that's how you build upon your contact. So if you do not get into MEA immediately after an MA DLP, start writing, start working in some think tank, which may not be financially very stable for a short period of time, but your aspiration should never end. Start exploring, and don't narrow down your consultancy spaces in MEA for only economic consultancy. There are opportunities that's come in for G20. There are opportunities that's come in for additional spaces in MEA in itself. Okay, unless and until if you're definitely not, like for example, if something comes upon in China bench, you're not interested in it, don't take it up. Okay, because you'll end up doing which you're not interested in, and you'll end up forgetting what you wanted to do. So unless and until you're not interested in, don't take it up. But try to get into some of the consultancy in MEA. That is really good. Like I have my few of my friends working there. They are very good. Venkatraman, thank you,
Hi.
sir. Thank you for.
So I have a question.
Yeah, yes, Aditi.
So currently I'm working as a business analyst intern at a healthcare tech firm, and I'm working on their product specifically. So I am actually debating whether I want to stay in the business analysis field or whether I want to go into product. And for that, I was thinking about taking some certifications. So because I'm debating between both of them, I am sort of looking into and doing these boot camps as well. So I am more tilting towards product at this point. So I wanted to know if there were any certifications that you would recommend that would help me later on in securing an offer as well, like for my placement.
Yeah. So business analyst is a very good role. So this role, business analyst, gives a leverage. It is in the junction. Okay, there are two options which you go. You can either get into product or you can get into project. Okay, where the foundation stone is the business analyst role. If you want to interested in product role, and more specifically on a particular section of product, for example, you're telling about healthcare product, research upon that. Certifications I'll recommend after this. Maybe you can message me. I'll definitely send some link on your or email ID for some certifications for that. Right now, it's not handy in with me to recommend some solid certification, but I definitely recommend something. Get into product. Sooner or later, if you're interested in maybe another, if you have to put a timeline for yourself, 3 to 6 months of time work in business analyst role, can get into a junior product analyst role, then rise up to the level of product, and then get into product manager, etc. Don't hide. Aim is good for product manager, but don't jump upon to product manager, because understanding the basics is really important. Business analyst, you understand the crux of it, get into deeper into it, then build upon the career on it. That's what I would rather recommend. Do definitely get into product. Business analyst is a good role to enter, but higher up you need to move ahead.
I believe product management is also more aiming towards what you're actually making. So it's maybe helpful in the long run in that sense.
It is definitely helpful. And you, there are three things involved in this. One is your satisfaction, job satisfaction, which is very high, because you end up developing, you end up creating certain products or helping creating certain products, which help a larger section of the society. One. Two, it will have its own career path. Okay, which will is good for your career path in itself. Three, which is which I might sound, I might speaking about money, but at the end of the day, its financial stability also is very important in the today's world. It pays you well. The paycheck is good in that.
All right, understood. Thank you, sir.
Reshma, if I pronounce your name correctly, Reshma. Hi, thanks for this question. This was the exact question I had when I graduated from MADLB and came out of clause from a social science background and got into the hardcore technological space. Technical skill is important. I'm not telling it is not at all important. You need to know the know-how of how the technology works, but not a hardcore technologist. Like you don't have to sit and code there, right? You're not a coder. You are a consultant. Okay, you need to know the how the end-to-end processes. Like if you are working on a cloud technology, you need to know the concept of cloud. What is cloud? How is the data stored? Where is the data stored? How are the different types of data stored? You are not going to sit and code there. What are the how is the data stored there? You only understand how the data is stored in the racks. You're not going to develop those racks there. That is what I'm trying to tell. But understanding that technological term is really important. That's where the certifications helps in. Okay, that's where it plays a leverage on your career, because today the firms are looking for diversification. People are going beyond the traditional aspect of hiring. Okay, they are like taking my example only. I am a business graduate, undergraduate, social science post graduation, with working in a tech firm now, consulting on a project management. Okay, so the diversity is also important, plays a role here. And if you have that knack of cracking the interviews in a technical firm, it really helps. And understanding, as I said, the crux of it needs to be known, not the depth of it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Please put it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Rakshit.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for taking out time and giving us this valuable information. Just like you, I'm also a business undergraduate and I'm graduating in social science. I did my undergraduate from Christ University BBA. So my question to you is, so when you mentioned about Bain and Company, Boston Consulting Group, and all those big four, McKinsey and all, right? So when we are going to sit in placements and going to compete with the graduates, MBA graduates especially, and that too from IIMs and these kind of institutes. So how are we gonna have an edge over them? Is it only certification that's gonna matter, or like what else can we do to have an edge?
Okay, if you want to working in that big three, big top four consultancy firms, what gives you the edge is one, your communication skills, the fundamental thing. Let's start with the fundamentals. Let's start with your resume. Okay, if you do not have a good resume, you will not even have an opportunity even compete there. Okay, so let's get the basics first. Have your resume well written. Take some professional advice. I'm not hesitant to tell I took a professional advice to get my CV done. I took exam from the one of the online forums only, from the Google. I took the help from them to make my CV look. How do I put forward? I have a lot of ideas, but if I put it in a way it is not represented to the way it has to be represented, then it goes for everything goes for a toss. Nothing matters there, right? Second, work upon your communication skills. The way you represent on the day of the interview, the day, like there's going to be multiple rounds, right? That matters a lot. Third, know what role you are getting into. Read about that. If you are getting into Bain and Company, and what in Bain and Company, you are getting into global security, or you're getting into management consultancy program, or you're getting into different programs. If you're getting into management consultancy programs, what are their clients? What do they do? Read about them on the Google, search upon. They do have research case studies interview. Read upon certain case studies upon internet. Do your fundamental homework. Make upon your notes. Keep them ready. Revise them, and then get into that. Third, on the day of the interview, nothing as good as being well represented yourself. If it's a physical interview, go well groomed, etc., etc. And these things matter. And the end of the day, your academic scorecard, as much as I hate to say that, even academic scorecard plays the role in Indian setup. I hate to say this, but essentially to the edge over the IITs, the big I's, the big M's, and the big E's everywhere. we need to have this, the activity and continue it. If you have a doubt, do mention, give a justification. It might be for any vacation. That's how you have the edge over. I think please do let me know.
Hello.
I have Vishal. Hello.
Yeah, sir, we're losing you
Hello.
actually.
Can you? Sorry. I think there's some internet. Yeah, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment.
Yeah,
Let
sure.
me quickly switch over my internet. So I'm so sorry for this. Just give me a moment. Let me switch on. Just give me a moment. I think there's some. Sorry. Just give me a moment. I might lose for a minute or so and come back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There's a last question in the chat box. You can take that
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Just a minute. Okay. There's the last question in the chat box. Okay. Hello, sir. Thank you for the hi, Bishal. Bishal, I am not in a position to answer your question right now because I do not really have the ready available answer about the internships where you can work as a finance. I understand you are interested in finance. So sorry for disappointing on not answering this, but I really do not have the ready-made answer for this now. But I can definitely get back to you if you provide me your if you message me on my LinkedIn or slash phone number, which I'll be putting at the end. I would like to help you out in some way or the other by asking few friends in this domain.
Thank you so much, sir. We would like to conclude with the session by thanking you for being with us here today and sharing your
Thanks.
wisdom with us. And it's actually very refreshing and motivating to see how our alumni have taken different pathways, even though we've majored in MEDLB specifically.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Aditi. It was nice interacting with you all. Nice questions. I wish you all the best for everyone. Nice talking to you. Nice questions. Do reach out to me. I'll put my telephone number on the chat. Do message me, and I'll also ping upon my email ID. Uh, uh, Here, this is my email ID. If you have any questions slash queries, you can definitely reach out to me. And also one thing which I forgot to mention during the presentation is how do you get into these consultancy organizations? I told about how, what, etc. The way you get into this is one, our own school will have to get these big four companies or consulting organization to company for the placements. Second is your own methodology by interacting with the finding people in the LinkedIn, messaging them. Don't hesitate to message people. Don't hesitate. I did message a lot of people asking for job opportunities. I did not hesitate to message them. If there is an option, they'll tell us. If there is no option, they'll tell no. That's the only available option, right? Where to hesitate to talk to people. Then finally, research if somebody from your alumni is working in that company, and ask for the reference. Don't hesitate to asking a reference. They might tell no, they might tell yes. If they tell yes, send. If they don't know, okay, fine. I'll find somebody else, right? I'll be happy to refer any one of you. Like if you're interested in working in one of the positions open in Wipro or organization, if there is an opportunity there, do let me know. Like if you find something, and I'll see if there's same available in my internal job opportunity portal. I'll definitely happy to refer you. And that is one of the way you to get in. Like consultancy spaces largely depend upon each of the reference. Once you start going higher up in the ladder, people dependent on how good is that person in giving consultation. Is it good? Okay, let's hire him. Okay, take it forward. So that's how it the word goes. Okay. Nice talking to you folks. Have a great Sunday. I think tomorrow is back Monday. We have Monday Blues Hall. Thank you so much, and have a good weekend. Party hard, but also play safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye bye.